What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Cardboard Cannon. We're back here with box number 3 in the case. Now, if you joined in for the last video, we didn't hit any SIRs again. We haven't hit SIRs in the first 2 boxes in the fresh case, but the previous box was a monster 17 hits. And a lot of them very high value hits too, which is insane. I don't know if that's just a weird anomaly or a packing issue, but I mean, we take those. Unfortunately, though, that being said, we haven't added to the set yet. It's all been doubles and quadruples and all that kind of stuff. We haven't actually added to the set yet, so hopefully that starts to change going forward. Like, it has to, obviously. We probably won't be adding too much more, which is why going over one case is probably always a little bit of a risk in terms of what you're after from a set. If you're trying to master set or whatever, it's always better to buy singles. Oh, okay, and we're starting off relatively strong, but also at the same time, we've taken out one of our full art numbers because we already have this one. So this is going to be our third full art Ogopon for the cornerstone. So yeah, like I was saying, it's always better to buy the singles. If you're wanting to master set, I think it's always going to be cheaper if you just straight up buy the singles. Like, search around, find people, whatever, and just buy like that. It's always going to be cheaper. But for those out there, not as fun, and I wouldn't have a channel. So here we are, ripping open the packets. Kind of also just to give you an idea. Like, the main reason why I like doing this, not only because, you know, it's a fun hobby that I can share with friends, family, you guys. It also gives you guys out there in the field a little bit of an idea of what to look for and potentially how to tackle what you're trying to hunt for. So, if you had paid attention to the last few set releases that we've been doing, namely the ones with Tony, you'll probably see him on this channel a little bit if you have a look around. He pops in from time to time if there's a set that intrigues him. Rewind back to 151 and also Obsidian Flames. We kind of figured out there was a bit of a science to the way they were packing boxes, and it was pretty accurate for most of the time. Like, I went around and found a whole bunch of alt arts out of freshly packed boxes from like places that you normally wouldn't buy your TCG product from because they're too expensive, but they just had like fresh boxes open and just went in there and you'd pull out a Roaring Moon alt art or something, and it's like worth it. It seems as though with this one, a little bit random, and I can't really. Okay, so we're starting off our base EXs with a Screamtail, but I can't really put a reasoning as to why the packaging is now so random. Like, it just feels weird. And if there's anything to go by, that last box that we opened up was insane because it had 17 hits in it. The fact that 9 hits popped out from the left-hand side, which is very abnormal. It also, I could have probably wished into existence because I was sitting there kind of giving the left-hand side a little bit of a rap because, you know, I'm not a left side fan when it comes to opening the boxes. I'm always like, right-hand side's mine, so I take the whole right-hand side. But the left-hand side has been really kicking off for this case now, if I realize that, if I think about it. But yeah, usually there was a bit of a science behind, you know, a little bit of like we'll call it gambling science. There was a bit of a gambling science behind potentially picking out hits out of a fresh box. Now it's kind of a little hard. Like, I don't really have a formula. And I'm sure that, again, speaking of Tony, he's sitting there watching these videos and he goes, little notepad out, and he's like, okay, he's opening first pack on left, second thing. And I'm pretty sure probably by now, at the very least, he's sitting there scratching his head just going, what's happened? Oh yeah, example, the last box as well. If you do go back and watch it, the first 3 packets on the right-hand side from the front had hits. It made no sense. It averaged out to be, every second packet, on the left-hand side had a hit. But in this case, the first 3 packs had the hits. So it's just like... It kind of throws out all the formula hunting. Oh, yes! Okay, so... If you are going to get doubles of the Terra EXs, this is the boy you want. So far, that guy, Dragapult EX, is selling for $35 each. Probably $40 in some places, depending on the scarcity of it. Because it is rumored that this guy, not even rumored, kind of proven for now, this guy is like going to be best in deck. Like he's part of the best in decks. Like either just like a full Dragapult deck, or Dragapult deck with Lost Zone, or even I've seen Dragapult with Charizard, and that's an expensive deck. Well, was, because Charizard's been reprinted so many times, so he's not so expensive now, but when Charizard first came out, he was incredibly expensive. Now, Dragapult EX being here, very pricey card. If you get multiples of that, and you're a collector, get rid of them as soon as you possibly can. They will drop. He will probably more than likely get a reprint at some point. Probably as a Battle EX deck, before it becomes like an EX box. But, ye old Dragapult, he is definitely one of the ones that you're going to be getting multiples of. Him and Greninja. Personally, I'm hoping that I get a few more Ursalunas in this from my base EXs. Because I need a couple for myself, and also just to kind of make up from the set. Rillaboom. And we got a Torkoal. And Fernape. Unfortunately, that's another... I think that's our triple Torkoal. But IRs will move. Because there are people out there that they don't... And it's actually pretty cool when you think about it, because when I... Near the end of Sword and Shield, before Scarlet Violet came out, I went and made like a best of Sun and Moon and Sword and Shield. Now, for those that know, I wasn't around in the hobby when Sun and Moon was out, and most of Sword and Shield I wasn't there. But I collected a whole bunch of stuff and kind of made like... hunted for all the tag team cards and all that kind of stuff. I would say the book itself is probably about like 75% complete with what I want to do. It does look pretty cool when you have it lined out. At one point, I think I'll make a video that actually like kind of just shows the book off and all that kind of stuff, like my little personal collection chases. And we got Kieran, which is another triple now, I believe, for full arts. Still looking for that parent. There's a part in the book where I put all the trainer galleries from Astral Radiance, Lost Origin, Brilliant Stars, and Silver Tempest back to back towards each other, and it looks really nice. It just looks like if you didn't know any better sort of thing, it just looks like a big gallery of like alt arts. That being said, it also follows, the next part about that is like all the alt arts in order from set to set. But seeing all the trainer galleries put together looks really, really nice. And I wouldn't be surprised if that's the same for people doing Scarlet Violet, that they're just hunting for the SIRs and the trainer galleries, or the IR section of the sets, because they really do look nice, especially when you have them all laid out in front of each other. Probably not so much the full art Pokemon. The full art trainers are probably a different story, but the full art Pokemon are a little bit... nothing to write home about, to be perfectly honest. Maybe the full art Terra Pokemon, just having a whole little section of all the Terralized Pokemon will look pretty good. But there are people out there that are just solely hunting for the IRs, and they're your people. Also depends on how much they've opened, because they're probably doing the same as, like, you know, the rest of us, and just have multiples. They have... So, when I say gremlin in a set, they have their gremlin in a set. There's one where they can't... The gremlin is the one that keeps popping up. Whether you wanted to or not. Katagiri, Swirlix, and Sinistcha EX. It's been a while since I've seen that one. Everybody has their gremlin in the set. Depending whether it's good or bad, that's up to the person, up to luck. So far in this set, I believe my gremlin is now Torkoal. I've gotten 3 of those IRs now. No. It's a tie between Torkoal and Growlithe, which is really good, because it's Growlithe. And we all know what that card looks like by now. And then there's the White Whale, where you just can't get it. You can't pull it, no matter what. You can't do it. And you'll have to hunt that down and shell out money on the side. But it's probably better you do by a certain point, because it'll be cheaper overall. It's a little bit different as well, because I'm able to offload my cards relatively comfortably, because I help out at like... Oh, there we go. We got our first Ace Spec, Scoop Up Cyclone, Darumaka, and Pheasantipity. I'm able to offload my cards relatively quickly just because I know a lot of competitive players and other collectors, and I help out at like collector cons and that kind of stuff, so I'm actually able to sell to the public relatively quickly. But for those out there that are a little bit more homebound or whatever, it's obviously a little bit more harder. So I think for like... It depends on like life situation. If you're out there, then it's not bad buying more than 1 case or a case or whatever. But if you're a homebody, it's probably better just to buy like 1 or 2 booster boxes than buy everything single. You save money either way. Like both ways of life saves money either way, because one can offload, the other one just buys what they need. So that was also the last packet on the left hand side, and that's given us the usual 7 hits, the 6 to 7 hits. Usual 6 to 7 hits. Usual median average is 13 hits a box. Let's hope that this one has an alt art, because it has given me a little bit of anxiety. We're starting off the right hand side with a Blissey. It's giving me a little bit of anxiety because the first case was really good. Second case hasn't yielded one yet. And there's only 3 boxes to go besides the right hand side of this box. And I did say, or did theorize, just by sample data, that you usually get about 4 hits minimum per case. And I'm kind of hoping that is going to be, no pun intended, the case here. I hope it gives us a good SIR when it does. So we're 2 packs deep. I think there's our 3rd pack now on the right hand side. Let's have a look. Chansey, Snowrunt, and Walking Awake. Something I have noticed though, with this set and the previous set, trainer cards are really hard to come by. Which is probably why, if you've gone around and tried to buy the trainer cards you're missing, if you're a master setter, it's been a bit hard to get them, because there's not many. Ooh, okay, so there's our alt art. Unfortunately, it is a double, but it is a Kieran. Not a bad one to get. At least it wasn't another Wellspring Ogerpon mask. But that's a good one to get as a double, actually, to be honest. So at this point, this will probably pay for about half the box if I'm able to move it, which I should be able to, because it is a very nice card. Cannot complain about that. At least we know that there's an SIR in it. At least we know. Whew, okay, they do exist. I was worried for a moment there that this case was broken, because it showed signs of it being broken in the last box. And there's an Ogerpon to follow up straight away. Let's just sleeve that. The bad thing is I'm going to have to like unsleeve all these again. I have to unsleeve all these again and then put them into like a light sleeve to put them into a trade binder, because I didn't have my penny sleeves ready to go. We've got Lucky Helmet, Crawdaunt, and Frostlass. Just kind of hoping to hit into some of the IRs that we don't have yet. We've only gotten 1 IR so far out of this box and 1 Ace Spec. So hopefully the 2 IRs that do pop out of this are nice. Sinistcha, Sandygast, and Infernape. And who knows, it might be the double hitbox. I don't think I've seen a double hitbox so not be 2 SIRs. If I remember properly from Temporal, and I think it happened over there as well. I'm not too sure. I haven't seen like a double SIR hitbox. I've seen like an SIR and a secret rare. Scolipede, Finizen, and there's another full art Screamtail. Unfortunately, we are doubling up on the Screamtail full art. Would have been cool to get a Dragapult EX, because I think the Dragapult EX full art is actually selling for quite a bit too, because it's the more blingier version. Actually, I think it's the most blingy version you can get of Dragapult at the moment, because there's no... Which leads me to believe, and I'm just like, kind of like... Now, we all know that there's a Dragon set coming out later on in the year, right? It kind of lines up. Year of the Dragon. It's about time that they got like another Dragon release, because it's like, what, there's Dragon Majesty and all that kind of stuff, and yada yada yada. In the past. Pretty certain... Oh, there we go. We got another A-Spec. So it's a double A-Spec SIR box. So there's still potentiality for this to be a double hitbox. Because this is getting a lot of hits again. Like, that's 2 boxes in a row. There's a lot of hits. 7, 10... We're at 15 already. We're at 15 already, and we're still missing a Terra EX, 2 IRs, and no more full arts, because we got our 3 full arts. But we've got Ogerpon, Kieran, and Screamtail. So there's still 2 IRs sitting in here, or possibly another SIR, or a secret rare. And I've completely forgotten and lost track of what I was just talking about. And it'll come back to me. Alright, we've got Helltile, Frogadier, and Palafin EX. That's another base. No, it's completely evaded me what I was talking about. I need like a teleprompter in front of me. Oh no, yeah, we've got a pretty big hit spread right now. Jeez. These 2 boxes have been really generous with their hits. What the heck's going on? I don't think there's anything in this one. I think it's just a holo. Yep. It's like before, like during the Sword and Shield days, like when you saw like a black rim around one, you kind of knew that you had something like in that packet, like in that little thing. This one's like you see a black rim, it's more than likely a holo foil. Put that there, 3 to the front. Venipede, Lampet, and Zapdos. Nothing behind there. So, 3, 6, 7, 10, 13. So yeah, there should be 2 more hits in here. Unfortunately, still, we're 3 boxes deep, almost 3 boxes, completely 3 boxes into this new case. And nothing to add to the new set. Nothing to add to the master set yet. Oh, and we got another Timber. There's another Timber. So as I said, still nothing. We're just doubling and tripling up now. Doubling, tripling up. There's still a chance for another Terra EX in here, I think. Let's see. We got 3 packs left after this one. Ting Live. 3 more packets. Still a decent box. Probably nowhere near as good as the other one. And there's an Ogerpon, so that's our last Terra EX. Which means the last 2 boxes, or last 2 packs, probably have an IR, but at the same time, don't be surprised if there's nothing, because it's actually given us quite a bit of hits. Both of the boxes have been pretty generous with what it's given out. So these do kind of feel error-ish. Inferno and Pheasantipity. And moving into our last one. Last pack, Magic. Let's see if it's a double hitbox. Did I put away the energy card? No, I did not. Yes, I did. Alright, I don't think there's anything in this one though. Got Grookey, Flabebe, and Okie Dokie. Alright, so nothing in the last one. It is an SIR box though, which is great. Unfortunately, nothing to add to the set. So my trade binder is going to be very, very hefty. Alright, so we got the Teal Mask Ogerpon. Got yet another Timber. Palafin EX. Hyper Aroma A-Spec. Scoop Up Cyclone A-Spec. Full Art Screamtail. Sinistcha EX. Heart Flame Mask Ogerpon. And the SIR of the box, thankfully, is Kieran. It looks really nice, this one, honestly. It's hard to say that these don't look good. Bliss EX. Kieran Full Art. Oh, it's a Kieran box. Torkoal IR. Dragapult EX, which is probably one of the bigger hitters in this box. And Screamtail Base EX. And finishing it off with a Cornerstone Mask Ogerpon Full Art. And that does it for this box, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this one. Catch us in the next video when we are now in the back half of the secondary case, and hopefully they all have SIRs. And hopefully we stop hitting into doubles. We need Perrin, and we need Greninja. Please. You guys take it easy, and I'll catch you in the next one.